The Northwoods of Wisconsin is home to one of the world's most ferocious beasts.
Both loved and feared, the legend of the Hodag lives on.
If you're trying to locate the elusive beast of the Northwoods, Rhinelander is the best place to start. We explored the city and surrounding area, hoping for a rare sighting and to uncover the truth behind the Hodag.
We saw depictions of the beast everywhere. A Hodag is a prehistoric lizard-like fur-bearing creature that roams Wisconsin's great northern forests.
It has curved horns on its head and may have spikes that run down its back to the end of its long tail.
The Hodag has large, menacing eyes that emit a fiery glow. It has razor-sharp claws and teeth, with a menacing snarl that adds to its fearsome appearance.
It is commonly described in folklore as being quite large, with some reaching 10 feet long. You can get a picture with a massive Hodag at the city's Chamber of Commerce. Stop inside for information about the area.
To dig further into the origins, we traveled to Pioneer Park Historical Complex. There is a lot of history to see here, including many Hodag artifacts. We met with the director of the complex, Kerry.
So the origins of the Hodag go back to two sources. Native American people of the Lake Superior region have a spirit that they call Mishapishu, the water panther spirit, which inhabits the area around Lake Superior, guards and protects the copper reserves of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And if you look up Mishapishu, you'll see that our Hodags, we like to say its cousin, has a striking resemblance to this ancient creature that they believe in, and that could potentially go back thousands of years. And then it also goes back to bunkhouse stories of the logging era here in northern Wisconsin, 1850s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, where they would sit around in the bunkhouse and tell these stories, trying to explain the strange phenomena around the forests of what was then the wilderness of northern Wisconsin. And one of the stories they would tell is about a lumber oxen. When it died, they would cremate the body of the oxen, and if it was kept burning for 7 continuous years, the spirit of that dead lumber oxen would escape into the forest to become this strange, fur-bearing beast that they called a Hodag. Eugene Simeon Shepard was a surveyor mapmaker that lived up in the Rhinelander area, a woodsman, and he was also a great storyteller. He had spent a lot of time in lumber camp bunkhouses, learning the ways of tall tale telling, and he had heard about stories of Mishapishu. He had heard about stories of this lumberjack creature called the Hodag, the reincarnate spirit of the dead oxen, and he purported to have captured a live Hodag in 1896. Previously, in 1893, he had discovered a live Hodag specimen out in the woods, took a lumberjack posse out to capture it, and they got into this big fight. It dismembered a bunch of dogs that were along, and they ended up blowing it up with dynamite. And then again in 1896, he captured a live Hodag and put it on display at our first county fair, the Oneida County Fair, and then took it to other county fairs around the state of Wisconsin, including the state fair down in the Milwaukee area. And ever since then, 130 years, Rhinelander has embraced it as its community mascot and calling card. Draws people up to the Northwoods of Wisconsin to visit our beautiful forests, glacial lakes, rare wetland areas, and just to enjoy the Northwoods. Historically, Hodags eat wetland vegetation, mud turtles, fish, frogs, maybe the occasional deer that ventures too close to its lair, and then there are stories about Hodags being fond of the flavor of white bulldogs. Part of the legend is that one of the lumberjacks had gone out to capture the Hodag with Gene Shepard, and he brought along his white bulldog, and the Hodag gobbled this white bulldog up and thereby, acquired the taste for white bulldogs ever after. So that became part of the story, part of the legends, and Gene Shepard had professed to feed the Hodag its favorite meal, white bulldogs, but only on Sundays when it was in captivity at his property. The Hodag in the display case, that Hodag is a replica of Gene Shepard's original Hodag, which unfortunately burned up in a fire. So there was a gentleman named Ed Stoltz who took photographs of the original Hodag, which we have on display here, and built this replica, which we have on the display case in 1951. And it's been the kind of notable Hodag replica of Gene Shepherd's original ever since.
Wake up, Hodag!
We have a couple taxidermic representations of Hodags, the mama Hodag, we like to say, and the baby Hodag. There's one up in the display case here as well. And yep, just a couple more of the awesome historic Hodags that we have on display here. And Hodags come in all different colors, fur lengths. One thing about Hodags is that the idea of Hodags is kind of left, the doors left open for interpretation by various artists over the many decades. 130 years of Hodag history lends itself to a lot of different depictions and versions of Hodags, the species. They did some scans on it and found that it has triplets. There's 3 Hodag babies in that egg. Unfortunately, they'll never hatch. You know, millions of years ago when Hodags were just coming out of the dinosaur world, Mama Hodag was nesting alongside a river and it was covered up by a mudslide, and then we get petrified Hodag eggs all this time later.
Kerry, that was a sad story.
This is considered the official Hodag Museum of Rhinelander. We have over 40 different Hodags on display, from statues to paintings to you name it. And just so we can share all of that wonderful Hodag history and heritage with the visitors that come to Rhinelander from all over the country and all over the world. We have a Hodag wood cutout that's out in front of the Logging Museum. It's pretty big, I think. I want to say like 15 or 16 feet long. And originally it graced the top of a famous bar here in Rhinelander, the Hodag Bar. And it was up on top of the bar for many years. When the bar closed down, the cutout was brought here to the Logging Museum and put on display. And every once in a while, that Hodag, being that it's outside, needs a fresh coat of paint. So it is currently getting a fresh coat of paint, and it has a coat of primer on it right now, so it appears white. And so right now around the museum, we're calling it the Ghost Dag or the Snow Dag. I host a podcast with my good friend, owner of the Hodag Store, Ben Burnell, called The Hodag Show. We sit down typically once a month, and we talk about all things Hodag. And you can find that just about anywhere you can listen to a podcast. And there's never a shortage of Hodag happenings going on here in Rhinelander, history, heritage, legends, activities about Hodags that we can discuss, and it's a fun time. Hodags are life. Everywhere you go around the Rhinelander community, you see this great pine beast emblazoned on our water towers, in effigy, statues, paintings, murals, you name it. Rhinelander embraces and loves its Hodag heritage and its Hodag history.
Kerry is right. It's hard not to notice Hodags as you travel through Rhinelander. Our day of Hodag hunting left us hungry for more. We stopped at Rhinelander Cafe and Pub and had a great meal.
Statues can be seen near the entrance. Among them, the artistic Vincent van Gogh Dag. Chef Hodag can be found behind the restaurant.
Our first day ended with a stay at the Hodag House. This is not your average vacation rental. The Hodag that greets you gives you a preview of the interior.
The green theme continues inside. The house is filled with Hodag-themed decor. Every direction you look, you will see a Hodag.
The kitchen had everything we needed. There were a lot of nice touches. Beware of Hodags lurking in the corners.
The bed was comfortable and had some great Hodag sheets. And yes, the bathroom is decked out too.
The next day we stopped at the Hodag Store, which is conveniently located next door. There are plenty of Hodags to capture with your camera. The Hodag totem pole has a pair, and another on a large log peering down from above.
There's often a truck outside the building with a custom graffiti-style paint job. A chainsaw-carved Hodag appears under the main sign. The saddle gives you an opportunity to take the perfect picture.
The inside of the store should be able to satisfy all of your Hodag needs. We got t-shirts for ourselves, stuffed Hodags for the kids, and some drinks for later. We spoke to the owner, Ben, to learn how the store came about.
My store was like just a antique resale shop. Over the course of many years, people were always asking, where in town do you get a Hodag keychain, a postcard, or a shirt, or something with the Hodag on it, and I always told them, I don't know. So after about 4 or 5 years of listening to that, I decided to offer them a fun, unique place to get Hodag merch. The Hodag, I would say, it's more than a creature, and it's more than a mascot, and it's more than a symbol for our town. I guess it's that one little piece that kind of pulls the whole community together and makes us one.
The love for the Hodag starts young. Kids painted the large rock in front of the middle school. Or at least I hope it was the kids.
The high school has plenty of Hodag pride as well. The fierce creature is the perfect mascot for the school.
Not far from the school is the Hodag Dome. It is the largest air-supported high school dome in the country. The space is perfect for practices and events.
Next to the dome is the football field. If baseball is more your game, you can find diamonds at Hodag Park. The park is a great place to relax.
The public boat launch will get you on and off of Boom Lake. The other side of the park has a public beach and a play area.
Pavilions are available for events. Just make sure you keep an eye out for water skiing Hodags.
Indoor activities at the local YMCA won't let you escape the Hodag's gaze. Even while grocery shopping, you could still encounter a Hodag.
Contesting a speeding ticket at the courthouse? Yep, Hodags are there too. All eyes are on the Hodag.
The local library is an excellent resource for those looking to research the Hodag further. This Hodag encourages you to keep the environment clean.
The legend of the Hodag has permeated popular culture. Scooby-Doo had a Hodag episode. J.K. Rowling also included the Hodags in the Harry Potter universe.
Rhinelander's Hodag Country Festival has also been attracting top country acts for years.
Whether you're a true believer or not, the impact of the Hodag on this community is real.
We were unable to get live footage of the beast, but we had a great time trying. Watch this video to see us unravel the mysteries of this location.